So if you clicked into this video, you're in for a treat. You know how many people show their wins on YouTube about how much money they make, but seldom you see people talking about their losses.
I asked them to judge me on my losers because I have so few.
But today, let's talk about my losses, what went wrong, and how you can avoid them and not need to experience what I face. Hey guys, Jordan once again. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about my experience going into a project that is going downwards. So being in the crypto space, there are many tokens out there that have minted millionaires. But this video is not about that. This video is about the reality about trying new things, new projects, and showing you the transparent fact of what the crypto space is about. But this video is not asking you to shy away from cryptocurrencies or crypto in general, but to give you knowledge of what you can avoid with any sort of investments that you plan on doing. So 2021 has been pretty exciting. My channel, or this channel, has been picking up thanks to you guys. And if you are new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for content on cryptocurrencies and random stuff, or maybe watch me crash and burn. Or you can even subscribe to see crazy experiments I do with all these crypto projects, or you could just subscribe because you're a nice angel. So the crypto market picked up quite a bit after a few years of winter, and most of us got pretty good gains if you have been holding throughout the winter for the last few years. And the NFT gaming sector has also created a lot of wealth for many, and some of these projects left many people in the red as well, including this guy here. But if you have no idea what NFT market is like, basically people would buy art pieces with the hopes that it will grow in value because it's scarce, one of a kind, and can be used in the metaverse that everyone is raving about. So some people were flipping 4 to 5 digits every other week, but out of 10 hyped up projects, there are thousands and thousands more that did not make the cut. So I personally entered a project called Cryptomines. If you haven't heard of it, it's a sci-fi play-to-earn game where users collect spaceships, workers, and travel through space to collect a digital currency called Eternal. The basic mechanics works as such. You will need a spaceship or a group of spaceships called a fleet. And your fleet will then require workers to operate them, and each spaceship has a limit to how many workers they can hold. These workers are mercenary in some sense and will only work when you have a contract with them, which can be 7 days, 15 days, or 30 days. And by purchasing a contract requires their native token Eternal as well. So once you've got your workers contracted, you got your spaceship, the next thing you need is fuel, which will operate the spaceship. And to get fuel, you will need Eternal as well. And once you got all this down, you are able to mine Eternal on different planets. And on different planets, you'll mine different amount of Eternals depending on the level of the planet, and the mining works with a random number generator. So to have a higher chance of getting a reward on a planet, having a higher MP or mining power will give you a higher chance of getting a reward in Eternal tokens. So one of the interesting things about this project that I like a lot is the Oracle. So the Oracle matches the price of the token directly to the US dollar, which means that if the token drops in price, you'll get more tokens as a result, and if the token rises in price, the rewards will drop as well. And this goes for both contracts and fuel as well. So me being an idiot, I went on to the meta, which was to buy a fleet that was 4,900 MP. So this fleet were able to mine the highest level planet, which gives roughly $300 worth of Eternals every single day, which was my first biggest mistake, but we'll get onto that later on. So with a fleet that has 4,900 MP and it gives me a reward of $300 a day, it cost me a kidney and 1/2 of a liver.
At what cost?
So the total cost was about $9,000, including the cost of contract and fuel. And at that point of time, ETL was roughly $750, which is crazy and insane. And the fleet I bought cost almost 10 Eternals. So having said that, my family will be eating grass and drinking rainwater for the next few weeks. What? So do drop a like for the YouTube algorithm, and I'll thank you guys so much. So like a true blue degen, I started mining Eternal, and I was so true blue into it that even the guy that sang the song Blue will feel shy about it. So things were going pretty well. I was getting roughly 0.4 Eternal per day, and that is a huge chunk of cash, and that was like, whew. But after a couple of days, something happened. So Eternal had a sell-off. The price tanked from $750 to $65. And essentially, you could say I did a 10x, but in the opposite direction. And so right now, I'm sitting on a loss of almost $8,000 at the lowest point, but the price have slightly recovered ever since I've done this video. And you have no idea what $8,000 is. It's like a banker's 1 month salary, or maybe a Rolex, or a lifetime supply of bubble tea, or maybe a whole generation's worth of iced Milo. But jokes aside, there are some things that I think we can both learn from my mistakes so that you guys don't have to experience the same emotional pain that is heart-wrenching and soul-tearing. So the first thing to do is to not FOMO. It's really important to not FOMO because I did. And yes, I'm a sellout because I always preach not to FOMO, but for this project, I did just because the rewards were too attractive. So I just briefly skimmed through the white paper without sitting back to think about the economics and how inflation can affect it, how many people were involved in the project, and how many early adopters there were. So essentially, what happened was that in late November, a couple of whales dumped their ETL holdings and made the price go from $750 to $65 overnight. And when such things happen, people feel fear, they start selling their positions, and this led to prices tanking even more. Which leads me to my next point of knowing when to cut losses or when to hold. So if you didn't FOMO like point number 1 and you did your research, good on you. But you have to have the knowledge of knowing when you should cut losses and when to move on. But for me, I think because number 1, I FOMO'd, and number 2, I overinvested, which is another huge mistake, I will just hold on and continue farming ETLs. So the third lesson here, which is my third mistake, is to over-leverage. So sometimes when we see other people having 10 times gains, 20 times or 30x and above, we tend to talk to ourselves and tell ourselves that if we made this one trade, or we just need this one project to give me a 20x.
I just need one.
So I too, being human, also have this thought every once in a while. But the matter of fact is that many would show their winnings but not their losses. And more often than not, their wins might not be able to cover the losses that they have taken or they have faced. But definitely there are outliers who are making mad gains in the market, but stay grounded, stick to your financial goals and plan, and don't let the noise affect you guys. But this is not saying that you cannot make bets on projects, but it's really within your means. It's like if you put $10,000 into a project, and what if it becomes like the project I faced? How will it affect you? Will it affect you emotionally? Will it affect your sleep, your mental well-being? Or will it affect your relationships because of the loss of wealth? At the end of the day, the main point of this video is to show you guys that losses do happen in the market, just that not many people are comfortable talking about it. And at the same time, do understand the fact that everyone is different and special in their own way. Their financial situation is different, their relationship matters are different, then they have all sorts of other things that other people might not share as well. So your journey is unique to you and you yourself only. There might be people out there who are similar, but there will be no two person in the world who will be the same, even if they are twins. So that's the rant for today's video. Not every day is a green day. But I do hope that this video gives you some insights, and if it did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.